This is News Channel 12 at noon.
The Hinds County state lawmaker who wants to be Mississippi's next House Speaker is under scrutiny about his role in a child sex abuse case. He's the attorney representing a Clinton church where the former music minister has been charged with sex crimes. Philip Gunn is also an elder at Morrison Heights Baptist Church. That's where John Langworthy once worked. Gunn claims he was just following the law when he shielded elders from discussing anything they knew about Langworthy with prosecutors. The accused sex offender spent 22 years at the church and allegedly sexually abused boys. His suspected victims were members of 2 different churches in Jackson. He's set to go on trial in the spring. Our own Ross Adams talks with Gunn in a story you'll see only on News Channel 12.
The legislation as it has been introduced in the past requires reporting of suspected child abuse, yes.
And this is physical, sexual, any form of child abuse.
It's ironic that would-be Speaker Philip Gunn supports a law requiring the reporting of allegations of child abuse. According to Hinds County prosecutors, Gunn, who's an elder and attorney at Morrison Heights Baptist Church in Clinton, would not allow elders at the church to discuss what former music minister John Langworthy told them about his alleged child sex abuse.
You prevented them from speaking to the elders to find out what Langworthy told them. Should you have done that?
And what I'm telling you is the elders are bound by a privilege under the law. There's a legal privilege that attaches.
Are there no exceptions to that?
No, there are no exceptions to that.
Gunn citing Rule 505 about priest-penitent privilege.
Don't you have a higher calling to God than to just to hide behind the blanket letter of the law?
The letter of the law prevents us from divulging what Mr. Langworthy may have told us. That's the law. I didn't make the law, that's just the way it is.
Ross Adams, WJTV News Channel 12.
Now, prosecutors still want to know what Langworthy allegedly told the ministers at the church. They say they're prepared to draw up subpoenas if that's what it takes to get them to talk. Also this afternoon, no bond is set for a Jackson police detective charged with killing his 1-year-old daughter. 36-year-old Natalia Gray appeared before a municipal judge who ordered him to remain behind bars. He's charged with capital murder. The Jackson Police Department kept Gray away from the media and would not allow any video of him to be shot. Now, his attorney has asked the court for protective custody for Gray while he's in jail. This case has now been handed over to Hinds County. A former Jackson care home owner pleads guilty to abusing and neglecting vulnerable adults. One of them died. 39-year-old Stephanie Fields admitted guilt on 18 counts of exploitation of a vulnerable adult, identity theft, fraudulent use of a Social Security card, and accessory after the fact of culpable negligent manslaughter. She faces up to 200 years in prison. Fields will be sentenced December 14th. News Channel 12 was the only station on the scene where a woman was found dead in one of her homes. In February 2010, Fields was arrested after 43-year-old Janice Hollins died at a house on Barrett Avenue. She was found in a bedroom that had a broken window. It was cold and snowing that day, and the heat was not working at the house. Hollins died of hypothermia. In another case, Fields was arrested for forcing an adult from a trailer in Canton and dragging that person to a car. Authorities say when the victim tried to escape, Fields bit their arm and scratched their neck.
Skies are clearing right now over central Mississippi. The sun coming out and temperatures will make it into the mid-60s for highs this afternoon. We will see clear skies for the rest of this evening. The storm from yesterday is now long gone, moving off towards the east coast. Some cloud cover behind that beginning to erode away here in central Mississippi. And as high pressure comes in, we're going to see more nice weather for the rest of today. In fact, really good weather if you're going to be traveling across the country. We do have some rain expected along the east coast, New York City. With Dallas, fantastic weather, mostly sunny, a little bit chilly, but sunny in Chicago, a few clouds in Atlanta, but the rain is now well to the east of that area. So our forecast for today, looking up, we're going to give it a 9 on a scale of 1 to 10. How about your Thanksgiving forecast, Black Friday, the Egg Bowl? We got all that coming up in the full forecast in just a few minutes.
Well, more than 38 million Americans will be traveling today. Byram has the lowest gas prices we've seen in the metro. Most stations there are under $3. In Madison County, the cheapest gas we found is in Ridgeland, where it's $3.02. In Rankin County, we found gas at $3.05 in Flowood. Now, millions of Americans will travel at least 50 miles from home this week. More than 3 million of those will travel by air. That's up 4% from last year, despite the continued poor economy. A new AAA study shows many Americans have weighed their fears of economic uncertainty this year against their deep desire to create lasting family memories. That's why many have chosen to travel. Experts say if you're traveling by plane, arrive about 30 minutes earlier than normal because of crowds going through security. Well, 5 property owners could have their homes bought out by the city of Vicksburg next year. They were damaged during the mighty Mississippi flood this past spring. The Board of Aldermen authorized Mayor Paul Winfield to apply for a $150,000 grant from FEMA to buy and demolish the homes. They will fund 75% of the project and the city will cover the other 25%. The buyout program began in September. It's a voluntary program involving homes in the floodplain. Also in Vicksburg, there's a new drug dog in town. We'd like for you to meet Bosco. He's a 4-year-old and he's trained to detect narcotics, counterfeit money, and firearms. Bosco will work with Officer Robert Arnold and replaces an aging canine named Ranger. He used to work for U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Well, state lawmakers have 2 weeks to redraw congressional maps, or a panel of 3 federal judges says it will take over the task. Lawmakers have until Sunday, December 4th, to present the new maps for Mississippi's 4 congressional districts, or the federal courts will step in. The panel announced that decision at the end of a hearing on whether the court could revive a 10-year-old lawsuit to draw new lines. The districts have to be redrawn to show population changes reflected in the 2010 census. That census shows Mississippi has 2.9 million people, meaning each district should have almost 742,000 people. Once the maps are finished, they still have to be approved by the U.S. Department of Justice because of Mississippi's history related to race and elections. Well, Mississippi's casinos are on track for the 4th straight year of declining revenue since 2007's all-time high. $182.2 million was won in October. That's down 5% from October last year. Last month, Mississippi River casinos won nearly $94 million. That's down 9% from last October. Casinos on the coast made nearly $90 million, slightly down from last October. An investigation is underway by the state auditor's office to determine if the University of Southern Mississippi violated state law in the purchase and distribution of electronic devices. The school is accused of not properly following state bidding laws. USM spent $432,000 to purchase laptops and other items. College board policy states that a contract exceeding $250,000 requires board approval.
Well, today in the metro, we're going to see the sun breaking out and temperatures warming back into the mid-60s for highs. The cloud cover now dissipating. We'll see a lighter north breeze later this afternoon and overnight. Initially, it's going to be clear, temperatures dropping back into the 40s. May see a little bit of patchy fog developing just before sunrise, but it won't last long. Thanksgiving is going to be a fantastic day. How long does the good weather hold up? We'll let you know in the full forecast. It's coming up next.